It's literally everything that I've talked about, like for years, all of it coming together. You have the understandable resentment and anger that massive swaths of the American population feel towards healthcare and towards executives in general that are involved in healthcare. Like, the resentment that they feel is palpable. Something that I talk about all the time is police incompetence. The very fact that this multiple billion-dollar, one of the largest standing militaries on the planet force, the NYPD, is so woefully incompetent. And it's not necessarily a bad thing in this circumstance, but it is a bad thing when there are real crimes happening and they're tasked with solving them and they fail to solve them. But like, it is so publicly in display that one of the most effective, supposedly, one of the largest, most effective police departments on the planet that have a submarine, okay? Drones, submarines, an office in Tel Aviv, like these guys are so woefully incompetent when they're tasked with finding one singular criminal, okay, supposedly criminal, it's a loaded word, right, that walked up in broad daylight and domed a healthcare CEO and calmly walked away, got on a bike and went into Central Park to lower his 5-star rating down to 0 stars instantly. And every single day, there is another mass shooting that takes place. And it is so commonplace, this kind of violence is so commonplace in this country that it doesn't even meet the standard of like regular news coverage. This, on the other hand, has made news coverage. And the reason for why it has made news coverage is because this person was acting out the desires, I think, and the resentment that many Americans feel. Okay? I think that's what it is. That's why a lot of people are terrified, because in the aftermath of the shooting, people were like, "Oh man, you really can't even be safe on these streets. The shooter is the shooter is still at large." And I was like, "I'm not a healthcare CEO." The issue with vigilante justice is that like it can very quickly turn into unnecessary death and murders of like, you know, random people that work at private healthcare companies that are just like low-level employees. That's the problem, which is why I still think that the best possible solution in this circumstance is to change the outcome. Luigi Mangione was caught at McDonald's eating what appears to be a hash brown before arrest. And I believe it was like a boomer with a weird sense of justice, it seems, that did not have her or his priorities in mind, that Josh Shapiro also famously called. I don't know why this person is like openly saying like, I'm the guy who did this. This is completely unjust and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and their lived experience. That's what he said. He might also say out of touch instead of unjust. I can't tell, but I don't think he f***ed up for people saying that he missed his opportunity to hit the one line. You're wrong.
Nah. Yeah, the fact he squeezed that out of nothing. You guys don't be hard on him.
The search function doesn't work. It says pull push may be down.
Too many people trying to see what he was jacking off to.
This guy was not a professional at all and just simply watched a YouTube video on how to carry out an assassination, because he should have watched more YouTube videos on how to, I don't know, hide the evidence. Why the? Yeah, I hate to do Monday morning quarterbacking here, but like the way he carried it out was pretty smooth. And then he turns around and he's like, yeah, I'm going to go to Altoona. Like, by the time you get to Altoona, you could drop the gun anywhere at that point. You know what I mean? Drop it in a river, dog. What are you talking about? Oh, shit. The mic is breaking again. I'm getting... Federal authorities are cooking my microphone. By the time you get to Altoona, you have already left. You have already left the state, okay? Dump it in a goddamn river, man. Okay, make it the law enforcement. Make it law enforcement the problem of law enforcement later down the line when someone is doing magnet fishing. You know what I mean? How the do you keep that with you? Was he gonna go and kill other CEOs or something? What the was he doing? Get the eyebrows threaded. You know, maybe shave it down a little bit. Do something. How can a leftist argue for pollution? Okay, man. Sometimes it's, you know, Sometimes you gotta ditch the assassination weapon, okay? Dude thought he would get laid if he showed proof. This doesn't need to get more pussy, okay? What are you, crazy? Have you seen the way he looks? Looking at the podcast consumption, I could see him being like, you know, it seems like he was like incel adjacent on a lot of the podcasts that he was consuming, but like, I don't know if he's, I don't think this guy's an incel. I think maybe like a men's right activist lightly, but I don't think he's an incel at all. But once again, do not try to understand the mind of someone who is a political operative in the United States of America. Wait, what? Who said his nipples are sharp? You need to be banned. Like, what kind of stupid ass bullshit is this? This is the same Israel mentality. This is literally Israel. We can't reward Hamas by refusing to do genocide to the Palestinians, guys. We have to keep the genocide going until morale improves. Like, wow, a real gambit. A real dangerous gamble here. You were letting the terrorists win. I feel like they just live in a bubble. Even worse with the finger wagging. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, does Michael Smirkonish or whatever, Smirkonish, not have like a single family member that's like, dude, what are you saying? You know how this shit is? Like, you don't know a single person? Like, I just don't get it. I literally don't understand. Like, I get playing a role here, okay? I get playing a role. Like, your role is to normalize the violence that people experience, okay? That's just like your job. When a CEO dies, you gotta have the whole nation on alert, you know? America is a nation that has been inflicted with gun violence. Thousands of people every year die to mass shootings. And we have no solutions for that and no protection for that. And yet when a CEO gets clapped in broad daylight, it's like society's collapsing. We have to do something. When your kids go to school and you worry about them possibly getting gunned down, there's no solutions to that problem, you know? Nothing we can do about it. Sorry. What did J.D. Vance say? Mass shootings are a part of daily existence, whether we like it or not. It is what it is, guys. But goddamn, this is like if a serf killed a feudal lord. The response is almost the exact same. Yep. Yeah, best I can do is door control. On the other end of the spectrum, the maximalist position on the other end of like caring was basically, oh well, life moves on. Like, that's it. Most people looked at this and were like, oh, healthcare. Like the median response to this was, oh, a healthcare CEO was assassinated. Oh, I know exactly how that happened.
It's so scary. It's to think that the shooter is still out there.
Police launch a massive...
Yeah, so scary. Don't worry, my lady. Your Scottish ass is fine. I don't think he's coming after you. I like that they couldn't find like a bunch of New Yorkers to be like, oh, I'm so devastated by this. They found a random Scottish tourist.
The CEO is not walking up and down the aisles and being like, oh, that deny that. We need to make more money on that.
I oftentimes wonder like who this is for whenever I hear commentary like this, where I just don't understand it. Like, what's the purpose here? Because becoming a hyper specific, ultra autistic process guy in this situation doesn't change the dynamic, doesn't change the reception. It doesn't, like, people still have their claims denied, and the CEO in this situation is just a standalone figure that is signing off on all of those actions. He's at the tippy top, okay? Like, this person didn't kill him because the CEO directly, immediately went into the files and was like, deny that person's like back injury claims. I think this is a part of what a lot of debate lords do, where they just like want to always be right, and they want to also always be contrarian.
Eating a hash brown moments before.
Why is there a photo like this available? Like, is this a camera? Is this CCTV? I assume it has to be, right? Like, how did they snap this pic? Oh, it's a body cam? And for the record, This process is why healthcare is so costly in this country, because there's an unnecessary middleman who is not interested in lowering the cost at all, but actually carrying over whatever it can back to the consumer. As mediators, they do not argue against the pharmaceutical corporations. Sometimes they own the pharmaceutical corporations. So then they're doubling on the profits on the pharmaceutical side as well. Every aspect of for-profit healthcare is completely busted in this country. And the proof is in the data. Just because the profit rate is low doesn't mean that they're not making a shit ton of money. Also, one thing to remember always is profits are a stupid way of looking at this, because companies are incentivized to keep profit rates low anyway. Their jobs are to still, like, executive compensation is before profits come in. Like all of this other shit that they're buying, mergers and acquisitions, all of that, stock buybacks, these are before profits. So just because a company's profit margins are low doesn't mean that it could not have been higher year over year. It's because of gun violence! It's because of guns, Ben! It's because of guns! People are committing suicide with guns! People are dying in mass shootings! There's a lot of gun violence in this country!
I just want to note, you see New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
Like, what did they think was gonna happen? Is he just gonna, like, did they think that he was an incredibly powerful supervillain? Like, they're treating him like they're slamming him in Arkham Asylum or some shit. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what are they doing? They're making it seem like he's the Joker, dude. What the hell is this? This is like, I mean, this is a bit overkill, I think, you know? We got him, the greatest villain. We got him, the greatest villain of all time. This is cool as by the way. He looks so goddamn cool in this. Like, it's not even funny. I'm sorry. He looks cool as hell, dude. You know who else was per walk? Jesus. They're making him look sick as average person who's getting over by a for-profit healthcare company. Brian Thompson and many others like him are the Grim Reaper, okay? It does not matter how systematized that destruction and death is, right? How normal it is, how normalized it is, how there is a division of responsibility. Many people factor into this equation, and it is done not to like harm people, not to hurt people directly, but instead for the profit motive, right? But it does not matter if a family member of yours is over. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter if you are a CEO yourself. They look at a guy like that as a death dealer, okay? And it's truly unique because Americans under every other circumstance are predisposed to the, well, they're just doing their jobs attitude, okay? It is ingrained in the American public consciousness. They are very draconian in the way that they approach crime and punishment. But when you are harmed in a meaningful way, whether it be a tremendous amount of financial strife brought about by a company that only makes money when they just get your money, when they take your money and then don't give you back any of the money that you need when in your worst moment, okay? To them, it doesn't matter. Americans are extremely individualistic people, okay? I didn't put anything in my mouth. I was ripping the sticky stuff off the Zyn. Americans are hyper individualists. They're very selfish. But even a selfish person can, if the harm is so universalized, you're gonna encounter enough selfish people that have been harmed. Okay? Luigi Mangione plays another guilty in a New York court. And obviously everyone's freaking the out. Luigi Mangione was seen wearing a $1,000 Maison Margiela sweater at the Manhattan Criminal Court in New York. First and foremost, what if he was wearing that? What? Is it illegal? Is it illegal to look good? Maison Margiela has incredible pieces. Some of them are really big misses. Some of them are hits. Who cares? Okay? Maybe he likes fashion. Now, of course, that's not the case. He wasn't wearing the Margiela burgundy washed lamb's wool sweater. But like, why are we pocket watching this man? I don't understand it. What is this? Like, this is not an argument, okay? This is not... Anyway, I don't even think that account was trying to hit him. I don't know why people are shitting on him. I like the sartorial choice. He looks like a nice, handsome young lad, okay? Which he is. He's a nice, handsome young lad, and also he's innocent, and I think they should just basically let him go, okay? Just gonna point that out. They should let him go.